Greetings. I'm here to talk to you about this handy little universal car mount gadget that you're considering buying. Um, as is often the case, I received this item free for the purposes of review, but despite that, I'm going to be completely honest because I buy stuff on Amazon the same way you do, and so I want my reviews to be honest as well. Um, so this is a fairly standard example. Most of them have this sort of the double articulating system. This is probably a little sturdier than most. At this level, you can tighten this as much as you want to. It's got a few hundred degrees of freedom that way, and then the tilt head has has less give to it, but that combined with the base will give you can make your phone face any direction you want when you're driving down the road. Um, the thing to always be concerned about with these, I've reviewed enough of them to know what to criticize. This gripper seems relatively seems like it could be potentially ineffective. In actual practice, it seems like it's pretty good. It only grips it on two sides of the phone, but it does a fairly good job of keeping it steady. You can go down the road, I think, fairly safely with this thing. I think the reason for that is that even though there are only 2 points of contact, these pads are somewhat sticky. So for at least a while during the life of this, it'll keep a hold of things pretty well. This pad on the back, though, is pretty slick, so it's not going to do much to help hold on to it. But this will be a fair sight better than the magnetic holders that you see. Second aspect, of course, is to worry about how it's going to affix to your dash or window or whatever. In general, suction cups on dashboards don't work very well because the surface of the dashboard isn't even. In this case, though, and what typically is the case, they have adhesive on the bottom. So even if it's not flat, then the adhesive will help it stick. Only concern being that in the summertime, repeated heating and cooling of that surface is going to make this sort of a sticky mess. So wherever you put this on the dashboard, be prepared for the fact that it's going to be a nightmare to potentially get off. Sticking to glass, just trying this for the first time, so let's see how good it is. I haven't even engaged the suction cup, and it's pretty sticky. Once the suction cup is engaged, I'd probably have to break the coaster to get this off. So with the adhesive plus the suction cup, sticks to glass wonderfully. Dashboards are going to be hit or miss depending on what the texture is and how that's. Excuse me. Wow. Depending on the texture of your dashboard and the general configuration, that's going to be hard for me to judge or anybody to judge ahead of time. But this is probably worth a shot. As you noted, the adhesive is pretty sticky, so it's got a shot. It's better than a lot of the ones I've seen. So I would give this pretty high marks. The articulating arm is very firm and rigid, and like I said, it's between the two pieces. You could configure this in about any way you wanted to. The only downfall is that you have the only ability you have to rotate along any other axis except for this one is through this head, and there's only about there's not a lot of give to that. So you'll want to make sure that however you configure this potentially unremovable suction cup, that it orients towards you enough that you don't want to try to rotate it later, because there are no degrees of freedom for rotating. Once it's stuck, it's going to be stuck. So and I won't. There is a simple installation guide, but I don't think it tells you anything that's particularly surprising. So with that, I'll close out. But I hope this review is helpful. If it's not, then please leave me a comment letting me know what you'd possibly want to know about car phone holders. And until next time, happy shopping.